Welcome to the Lightning Out the Bottle podcast. I am your host, Mr. Leach. And as always, it's good to be back here talking Charger football with you guys. Thanks for joining me on another episode. Last video, we went over the undrafted free agents that we got on the defensive side. Today, it's time to talk about the fun stuff. Let's go ahead and get into the offense, right? So, on the offensive side of the ball, they actually got 9 undrafted free agents, and they spent half of that on the line. I'm not even going to lie to you. They went and got a ton of linemen to throw in there, and I guess they think it was just as good talent in their undrafted free agent pool as there would have been using a pick, so they decided to go in another direction. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at what these guys actually picked up in the undrafted free agent pool. And as of the time of this recording, I do believe they picked up another wide receiver, but we don't have time to cover him today. We'll cover him on the next one. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and look at what we got from the day after the draft, and we'll go from there. All right, let's go ahead and start with the offensive line. Specifically, we'll start with that tackle position because it seems to be the position they addressed the most. They ended up getting 3 tackles. So let's go ahead and start with Seavon, Washington. Right tackle out of Syracuse. So he's 6'8", 340 pounds because, of course, he is. This has become a theme with Harbaugh and what he's trying to do. Everybody is ginormous, it seems. Like, that's a massive human being. 6'8", 340. You already got Joe Alton, Mekhi Becton on the line, 6'8" and 6'7" respectively. I mean, this is a huge line they're trying to build. And you'll see a theme throughout this whole process of what they're doing that size does matter to Jim Harbaugh. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, big, strong, physical players is what he's going after. It's what he's going after. He ran a 5'4", 740, but he's a big man, so you know how I feel about that. I don't really care too much about that. He had 19 reps on the bench, 25-inch vert. You know, he had an 8-foot broad jump. He's a mountain, bro. He's a mountain. He's a mountain. You know, he's a very raw player. He's a very, very raw player, but I mean, you could teach skill, you can't teach size. Okay, and he's not a terrible player. He's just a very raw player. So there's a lot of room for him to grow. You know, at 6'8", 340 pounds, it's always good to have those size people on your line. You know what I mean? He's good enough to get a tryout. We'll see where that goes. You know, he can gain leverage very well. If he can learn better hand placement and, you know, have more power behind it, you know, his push, combined with his size, he already has smooth, quick feet too and consistent footwork. So, I mean, you add everything up top with his hand placement, and he's able to put it all together. The quicker Ben Herbert can get his hands on him and get some strength behind him, the more of a shot he has to make this team, because that's really what he's lacking is his hand placement, because his footwork is phenomenal. So I like that about him. I won't say phenomenal, but he has really, really solid footwork, you know. So, you know, if Harbaugh and Roman can coach him up, I think he has a chance at least making the practice squad. So, you know, and that's a good thing for him. You know, he's an undrafted free agent catching on with the team to a practice squad. That's something that a lot of guys do when they work their way up. So, yeah, if he can get it all together with his size, his footwork, he could just add that good hand placement, I think he'd be a good addition to the team. They also added tackle Cory Stewart out of Purdue. He played predominantly on the left side. He's 6'6", 318 pounds. I mean, these guys are just, this is ridiculous what he's putting up here. Like, this is wild. 6'6", 318. I mean, so 6 foot, 6'7", 6'8", and 6'8", right? So, I mean, he's trying to put a big wall up in front of Justin, and I'm here to see it personally. I love to see it, right? This is what you want. You want to put big holes right in front of Justin, right? Big guys that can clear lanes, open up room for Najee and for Omarion to be running, you know. So that's exactly what we want. I like what they're doing with this offensive line. They're putting big, huge bodies in the way, right? And big physical players, right? Guys that want to put a defender on his back. That's what we want. We want nasty guys up front, and it looks like that's what they're adding. Something, he's kind of slow and sluggish, but the truth of the matter is he was really overextended a lot by bad quarterback play, right? Because he initiates blocks, he can get to the second level, he keeps plays alive, you know. He plays both tackle and guard. He's a big, strong, physical lineman. You know, he has good strength, footwork. So that versatility, you know, being able to play tackle and guard and having that footwork to do that, That makes you very, very valuable to an NFL team. And he is a good, solid blocking lineman. So, I actually like this signing a lot. You know, now he could lose a few pounds because of how slow he is, and he could decrease his lower body strength so he could pick up some speed. But he's not a very, very speedy player whatsoever. He's actually very, very not speedy. But I'm sure they'll work on that with him, try to get him to figure out ways that he can use what he has to his advantage. I really do believe in his coaching staff, so I'm not really too concerned. But I'm not sure where his role will be on this team, other than maybe a practice squad player. But I don't see him making the final 53 roster, of course. But at this point for these guys, it's really just to get on that 16-man roster, practice squad, right? That's what they want to do, right? If they can get onto the practice squad and be one of them 16 men, they got a chance of catching on. So yeah, man, he it's good to have him in the building. But again, another big, strong, solid lineman that Jim Harbaugh is going to have fun with. So at the tackle position, they also went ahead and signed Jimmy Bell Jr. And I'm sure we've all heard of Jimmy Bell Jr. right now. By now, he's a basketball player out of West Virginia that decided he wanted to play football. And so obviously there's nothing to watch on him because he played basketball. But watching him play basketball, he's a very nimble, 330 pounds, and he's 6'9", I think, 6'9" or 6'10". I'm not sure exactly which one, but he's another huge guy, 6'9", 330 pounds, in that ballpark. But he's nimble because he's a basketball player. Now, we all know we've had great success with undrafted basketball players, and we hope that this would happen, except not at the tight end spot, at the tackle spot. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. I mean, it would be fantastic if he did come in and he made his mark and he was able to catch on in the league. That would be a great story too. The lineman of Antonio Gates. What if he has a Hall of Fame career? That would be fantastic. I think so. Jimmy Bell Jr., this is just some fun and something intriguing for us going into the offseason. So let's just keep our fingers crossed that we find another stud in Jimmy Bell Jr. So next they went ahead and got Nash Jones, the guard out of Texas State. 6'5", 320 pounds. I mean, 33 and an eighth inch arms. You know, it's another big lineman that Jim Harbaugh got on his team. And this is the small one. He's 6'5" and 320 pounds, and he's the smallest lineman they're adding. That's wild. Like, if you think about that, that's a 6'5", 320 pounds guy. That's the small one. That's the little guy. That's just, I mean, man. This. I love this, bro. I really do. I take it for what it is, and these players are really gonna have to fight to make this roster. But I love the type of players that they're adding to this roster. I think that's the important thing that we need to look at, is what type of players are they adding to this roster? It's not so much their skill set necessarily, although that does factor into it. What are they adding to this team? They're adding big, strong, nasty, physical players, right? They got out physical last year, right? And they're not trying to go through that again. So they're adding guys that are going to stand in the way of Justin Herbert. They're going to be able to pull this kid right here. I mean, he had a broken leg in 23, and that cost him 7 games. He played tackle for 4 years, and then he ended up transferring to Texas State, where he moved to guard. So, he only had a year at the position, but it was a phenomenal year. He's a really good pulling guard. He's a really good pulling guard. You know, good footwork, long arms, big hands. He could have better hip movement. He could have quicker feet, but I mean, he loves to run block. That being said, that's half the battle. Having that size and that agility to move and run block, he loves to be the pulling guard, right? So I think that, going into an offensive where they're trying to be run heavy fits him perfectly, because that's what he wants to do. He doesn't really, pass blocking isn't really his thing. His thing is actually run blocking. And especially if he gets to be the pulling guard, oh, he loves that. That's like his favorite thing to do. So I do like to see what these guys are gonna do together as a unit, right? Coming out and putting in work. That's 3 tackles and 1 guard that they got to protect Justin. So, they're taking that very seriously, getting to that line. It was a big deal, and a lot of us were stressed out of what they were gonna do with the line. I think they signed these guys, and they really believe in the guys that they actually signed. And they didn't feel like they had to use a draft pick to get a lineman. So, they showed that with them signing so many undrafted free agents that are on the line. Next, we then went and got center Josh Calenberg, Maryland, 6'6", 308 pounds, 5'1", 340, 2.7, 20-yard, 31 3/4 inch arms. 79-inch wingspan, 26 reps. Again, just a big, strong, long football player. This is crazy. 6'6", 308 pounds. Right. The other two were 6 foot. The other three were 6'8", 6'8", and 6'6". This guy is 6'5", Nash Jones, but this guy is 6'6". So all the guys are big. It's a theme. It's a theme that we have to notice going on with Harbaugh and what they're trying to do. They're trying to push people around. They're trying to wear down defenses and just bully teams. You have big, strong line, big, strong running backs, big, strong quarterback, and then you draft a couple big, strong receivers to go along with your smaller, more quicker receiver, right? So what they're doing, that's what they wanted out of QJ, but they didn't get it. So, this is shaping up to be something vicious. The undrafted free agents that these guys are going after are guys that can actually make this team and contribute, especially on this line. Any one of these guys can make it on this team, on this line. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but they would definitely have an opportunity. Not to be starters, obviously, but if they can beat out some of these backups, like if they can beat out Trey Pipkins, man, Jamari Sawyer, who's not a bad backup, but we just need better, right? If we want to be a championship contender, we have to be very, very good at every spot on the team. We'll be great at certain spots, but we have to be very, very good at every spot. And that means second and third string, kicker, punter. That means everybody. So, that I like what they're doing with these guys. So, bringing in Josh Calenberg as center, we were very concerned about the center spot with only Andre James and your boy Bradley Bozeman. I was in fear for Justin's life, but whatever. You know what I mean? We bring in Calenberg, so that should give us some help at that position. Now you got three centers, right? They'll probably give Zion some looks, but they're not going to move him from left guard, I don't think. So, yeah, great addition. So that's 5 linemen that they actually brought in. We'll see if they make the team, if they can contribute, but that was a very, very solid addition to that line. Because he also holds his blocks very, very well. I would not be surprised if now he not only made the team, but he actually passed Bradley Bozeman up on the depth chart. He does need some coaching up, but, he's not the typical project center. He has the physical tools to succeed, man. I'm telling you. He just has to put it all together like all of them. He had elite jump and run numbers before draft. So these guys just need to put it all together. These are players that can actually perform in this league. They just need to put it all together. So they did a wonderful job with this undrafted free agency class of linemen. Then they go out and get SteveO Clots, Iowa State. They told me the guy was a tight end. I'm not buying it. Not even a little bit. This dude is a fullback if I've ever seen one. This dude, listen, man. I watched a 15-minute video of this man blocking people. A 15-minute highlight video of him blocking people. Just laying people out. It was a beautiful thing to watch. Beautiful. I don't think I've ever watched a whole video of just blocking. Like blocking highlights, I've never watched. Not 15 minutes. If I did watch one, it wasn't 15 minutes. And he was hitting people like for fun. Like when somebody enjoys hitting people, you let them hit people. And this guy, he's a blocking tight end, but really he needs to be a fullback. And he's 6'4", 260 pounds. So now, and which is what they're going to do. They signed him to be a fullback. They didn't sign him to be a tight end at all. He'll probably rotate in at the tight end spot, but they signed him to be a fullback, right? So you're sitting there with a 6'4", 260-pound fullback and Najee Harris. But running behind Joe Alt, Mekhi Becton, Rashawn Slater, Andre James, and Zion Johnson. That is a huge team, man. That is a very, very big team, right? With Oronde Gadsden and Tyler Conklin. This offense is shaping up to be something spectacular, bro. This. I mean, this guy, SteveO Clots, loves blowing up defenders, man. He loves blowing up defenders. If you have a fullback in the backfield and you want him protecting Justin, this is the guy you want. 6'4", 260-pound guy that love to hit the other team. That's exactly who you want protecting Justin Herbert in that backfield. That's who you want leading the way for Najee Harris. That's who you want leading the way for Marion Hampton, right? So this is such a hardball signing. This is a great signing, and people don't really understand how big of a deal this could actually be. This could be. I mean, I don't even really have any words for that. Like this, finding a great fullback would be like Low Neal to LaDainian Tomlinson. And anybody who knows Low Neal knows Low Neal made a lot of those runs possible, right? You know, LT always have the talent. You can never take somebody's talent, but Low Neal made a lot of those runs possible, and that's what SteveO Clots does for his running back. So this was a fantastic signing, guys. This is one that we should be very excited about. This guy right here in front of your running back, whatever running back it is an extra 4 to 5 yards. And that's what I think. From the way he hits people, man, he clears people out of the way, bro. So good job on the front office of seeing that gem for sure. At the quarterback position, they went and got DJ Unalle, quarterback out of Florida State. He ran a 4.9 40. He's 6'4", 221 pounds. He threw for 84 completions on 156 yard passes last year, which was a 53.8% average. 1,065 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 6 picks. Not the greatest, man. Not the greatest at all. Anytime you throw more picks than you throw touchdowns, I mean, that raises a lot of questions for me on what's going on, right? And unfortunately, I didn't get to watch a lot of Florida State, so I don't know what's going on. But from everything that I read about him, he started off as a really, really high prospect. So it leads me to believe, because I'm looking at the skills that he has, the tools that he has a big, strong arm. He's a big body guy. He's not an actual mobile quarterback, but he can move around and escape out of the pocket. It really looks to me like somewhere along the line something happened with his mental and he needs to get his confidence back. That's what it looked like to me from watching earlier stuff on him and then seeing what he did throughout college. It really makes me think that somewhere along the line he lost his confidence, and I think that's what they're thinking, is that they can instill that confidence back in him, because otherwise you wouldn't bring in a player like this. I mean, 3 colleges in 5 years is a concern. It wouldn't be as much of a concern. I mean, it's not as much of a concern because of what happened at Oregon State, where, you just want to be in a conference where you can be seen, where you can get some attention, and that didn't happen, so he had to leave. So that was actually a very good call by him to go ahead and protect his future. But then he didn't deliver on the opportunities that he got, I felt. He didn't make the good decisions that he needed to make, and that's what made his draft stock fall so far. He just wasn't making good decisions with the ball. He was erratic. He get antsy in the pocket. He started to flee too soon. It was bad, and he never had a completion percentage over 63%, which is that's a problem, and he's never thrown for over 2,700 yards either. So that's another problem. So I think they think that, with his skill set, it seems that him overthinking things is something that they can actually work with him about, slowing the game down, make sure his processing goes up, because I think that's really what his issue is. He doesn't have the confidence. Somewhere along the line, somebody broke that from him. So if they can get that back to him and get him back to processing, he could be a very good player in this league. I mean, I don't think he'll ever be a starter, ever, unless it's a horrible situation for a team that's hopefully not us. But yeah, I think he can, carve him out a backup role if they can get him back on track. So that's what I'm hoping to see for him, something like that. At the running back position, they went and got one of my favorites and one of your favorites as well, Raheem Rocket Sanders out of South Carolina. Man, I am so happy we got this pick. So happy we signed this guy. So happy we signed this guy. He's 6 foot, 225 pounds, runs a 4.46 40, 9.25-inch hands. He had a 10-foot broad jump, and he has 17 reps on the bench. So he's big, he's strong. He has explosiveness. His first 3 years at Arkansas, he carried the ball for 398 yards for 2,230 yards over those 3 years. He had 5 yards per carry and 17 touchdowns. In 2024, after he transferred over to South Carolina, He ran for 183 carries, 881 yards, had a 4.8 average, and 11 touchdowns. Right? So his whole career, he had 581 carries, 3,011 yards, had a 5.3 average, and 28 touchdowns. So this is a very, very productive running back that we all like a lot. We all like him a lot, because he can do both. He can run and he can catch out of the backfield. His first 3 years, he caught 49 passes out of the backfield. He went for 453 yards, had a 9.2 average and 3 touchdowns, and a 73-yard long catch. So he was putting in work from the beginning. Even his senior year, he had 27 receptions for 316 yards, 11.7 per, 2 touchdowns, right, on a 43 long catch. So this guy's contributing all over the field for your team. He's contributing on the run. He's contributing in the passing game. So this was a great addition. I'm so shocked that he didn't get signed. I know the injuries really is what derailed him and made him go undrafted because he missed those 6 games. But he still was able to come back and perform well, right? He had a knee and a shoulder injury, so that does raise a lot of concerns for teams. But his production speaks for itself. When he's healthy and he's on the field, he's a force to be reckoned with. But it's like they say, the best ability is availability. So he's got to really get into this to the boat and just work it out with Ben Herbert and get his strength and conditioning all the way up to par. Ben Herbert is such a great addition for us to have on this team, man. It's somebody that we can really trust to get our athletes healthy and in the best condition and best prepared to perform on Sunday. So shout out to Ben Herbert, man, because he's really going to be the one that helps change this culture and turning them into that aggressive physical team that Harbaugh wants to put on the field. He knew what he was doing when bringing this guy along. So kudos to Ben Herbert, man. Kudos to Ben Herbert. And, just thinking about it with Raheem Sanders as the third running back in this trio, Jesus criminy, that would be brutal, bro. If you have Najee Harris, Marion Hampton, and Raheem Sanders with SteveO, Clots in this backfield, oh my goodness, right? Arondé Gadsden on the outside, Trey Harris, oh my goodness, Ladd McConkey, oh bro, this offense is shaping up to be something spectacular. Something spectacular. And it's clear to me the type of running game that they're trying to build, right? Really the kind of offense they're trying to build. When they say smash mouth, this is it. When everybody on the team is a giant, bro, this is crazy. Right? This is crazy to me. Right? Your whole offensive line is just all giants. Your quarterback is a giant. You got some giant wide receivers and some big, strong running backs. So this is going to be a very physical team, and they will not be pushed around again like they were in that playoff game. I promise you that. Harbaugh is not going for that at all. So this was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful addition that we got to the team. And I'm pretty sure he'll make this team. As long as he stays healthy and he puts in the work, he's already on the team as far as I'm concerned. So I don't know how y'all feel. Y'all let me know in the comments if y'all think the same way, but I'm like, he's already on the team, man. So big signing. Last but not least, we had Luke Grimm, wide receiver out of Kansas. 6'9", 190 pounds, maybe closer to about 5'11", has 9-inch hands, 29 and 3/8-inch arms. So 72-inch wingspan. He's a 4.5 40 guy. So, he's a very, very quick, athletic wide receiver. But listen, this kid is really good. Really good. They named him the Grim Reaper. This kid, I don't even know how he does it, man. I don't know how he does it, man. He's not the fastest guy, but he is always finding himself open in soft spots, right? This is a guy that comes in and he just finds open space and he puts himself there and makes himself a target to the quarterback, right? In 2024, he had 51 receptions on 690 yards, 13.5 per catch, 6 touchdowns and a 70-yard long catch, right? So, he also rushed for 11 rushes for 135 yards, 12.3, and average with a touchdown. So he had a longer 37, so he could do multiple stuff on the field too. He could be a gadget guy too. So, this is always a good guy to put on your team. His whole career, he had 177 catches for 2,472 yards, 13.96 yards per catch with 23 touchdowns. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, this kid has great sideline awareness too. Like the toe tap with this kid is ridiculous. Like I love to watch wide receivers when they do the toe tap, and this dude can toe tap with the best of them. In college, both feet, right? He's a smaller receiver and he doesn't have the greatest burst. But like I said, he always finds himself open, man. He always finds himself open, right? So, and I'll just make another bold prediction. I think this guy makes the team. I think this guy makes the team, and I think he better make the team because this is another Wes Welker situation. I really do think that, and we cannot let this guy walk out and turn into a damn rock star down the road. I don't even want to deal with that. I'm still mad we let Wes Welker go, but we didn't have the proper team to do that. The proper guys that would evaluate talent the proper way, the way that Harbaugh and Ortiz and Mentor and Roman are doing, right? So, and we didn't have the strength and condition to have bring these guys in. So the infrastructure that they have built over the last few years is something that we got to get used to as Charger fans. Like having a great infrastructure and a great supporting cast around you in a great stadium, right, with a great training facility. It's a wonderful time to be a Charger fan. I'm not going to lie to you. It is a wonderful time to be a Charger fan. So, no more Jack Murphy Stadium where we splitting it with the Padres. None of that, right? We're splitting it with the Rams. But so what? SoFi's wonderful. I'll split that. I don't want to split Jack Murph. That was rough. But yeah, it's wonderful signing. These 9 players was a wonderful addition to this team, I think. Right? I really do believe they were a great pickup. So, just to wrap things up, we got 5 linemen. We got 3 tackles, a guard, and a center. We got a tight end / fullback for sure. And we got a quarterback, a wide receiver, and a running back. So we got 9 players on offense. And they really, really did address that offensive line the way I wanted them to, man, using that undrafted free agency. I mean, I wanted them to address it in free agency and the draft, but they got it done in undrafted free agency. They got a bunch of guys that I think have an actual opportunity to make this team, so I can't wait to actually see what these guys do. Today was the first rookie mini camp, so that should have been interesting. That was I actually have to go back and watch some of that. I didn't watch none of that. But these guys have a great opportunity to make the roster, so we'll see. We'll see how they pick it up and perform. The running back signing, I'm extremely, extremely excited for, as well as the wide receiver one, right? So, they gave Justin a ton of weapons. So, and they keep giving them weapons. Like I said, I believe that they signed someone earlier today, but I didn't actually get a chance to look it up. But yeah, man, this is definitely one of the best feelings I've had going into a season in a long time, decade at least, right? So this is going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. The quarterback position, they got a guy. They don't need a guy. We got Justin Herbert. He's a rock star. So we're loving that, man. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for joining me on the Lightning Out the Bottle podcast. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you get my videos first. And as always, baby, bolt up. Lightning out the bottle, baby. Let's go.